sunlight begins to fade now, and I feel like I'm losing time, but I don't know how I'm here. The sunlight has turned to gray, and I feel like I'm losing love again. I don't know how I'm here. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. 'Cause it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna breathe. And it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna need.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Vertex Stock Car Cup, the very first race meeting of the season on the iRacing platform. Sponsored, of course, tonight by EVP. And we're very, very excited to be here and bring you all of the action. My name is Chaz Draycott, known to a lot of people as Chazlington, and I'm going to be your broadcaster and commentator for the entire 5-round season. Here we are tonight then at Homestead Miami Speedway, a real staple in the NASCAR calendar and a driver's favourite as well, from what I know. Of course, all this put together with LuxSim24, Simply Race and Vertex Sport Management as well. And we're all absolutely over the moon to bring you all of the action. Very, very excited indeed. There is also a very good cause behind tonight as well. We do have a Just Giving page that has been made. If you look for Vertex NHS on Just Giving, we are actually donating to give as many personal gifts to as many NHS workers as possible from all of the donations that get sent in. So it is a fantastic cause, and we just want to make sure that as a series we can of course do our bit to give back to those that are working so hard at the moment due to this very difficult time. So we're looking at the guys out on track now then. This is James Harvey at the moment that is in the pit lane just coming out. Alex Sedgwick of Vertex eSports that you will see on the thumbnail and all of the pictures surrounding tonight. He's just gone back out on track. That is the car that you will have seen, the beautiful number 9 Vertex sports car. Ben Kriener, Euro NASCAR driver, is out on track tonight. LuxSim24 eSports. A lot of you will know this name as well, Dan Rowbottom. Good to see Dan out there tonight. There are some very, very big names out on the circuit this evening. Oh, there's a car around in the background there. That was number 4. That was Alex Wheeler, the originals. Oh, wow, that was a very, very good squeeze through there. Very, very good squeeze through. Just trying to see who that was that it was a bit further down the order. Liam Silkstone, good friend of mine, out on track tonight for XI Racing in the number 194 car. Another driver you may all be familiar with is Ant Wharton-Eales for AWE Motorsport. Of course, British touring car driver, Mini Challenge UK champion, Clio Cup champion as well. Plenty of experienced racers. Connor Mills is another one as well here for Mills Motorsport. We'll go on board just so you can see how mental this looks down the back straight. Of course, the driver's using the NASCAR Xfinity cars tonight. This is a very wide-angle GoPro-esque camera. And Homestead Miami is quite a difficult circuit to get right, as you will see here. They do have to lift quite a lot around each corner. And that is the end of the practice session, which will see everybody ready to go for qualifying now. There will be drivers jumping out of the pit lane before you know it. Just going to keep my eye out now to see who does so. They're going to have single lap qualifying. So basically what we get from that is lone qualifying on their own. So they only get a couple of laps. They can't go and slipstream each other. They can't go and mess about. It means that, of course, it's a bit of a level playing field as well, so nobody gets any sort of slipstream from their teammates or anything. Everyone is in the complete same ballpark. Sorry. The track will be empty for just a moment as it gets everyone ready. This is the wonderful effect of having this this sort of session, though. You do get a bit of a quiet moment on the circuit, as we do with a lot of different things in motorsport. But this is going to be a brilliant series, really looking forward to it. Of course, the 5 rounds are at very, very different circuits. We have 3 oval rounds and 2 road course rounds. So it really does mix up the level of talent that these drivers need to have. They have to be switched on at all times. Just bear with me 1 second about this. Yeah, the session is trying to tick over. You can see it there from the iRacing screen. So we've just got to wait for it to kick in. We do have a nice little splash screen for you as well when it changes from a replay to live. But as it stands at the moment, nobody out on track. Nobody to even select from my my side of things here. It's just a bare circuit, by the look of it, sorry. Of course, we're on a lot of different platforms tonight. Thank you everybody for tuning in. It is on every single one of them. Plenty to see, plenty to watch. Plenty of places to watch as well. And we do really appreciate it. And on the Vertex eSports YouTube channel, actually, I tell you what, on the Simply Race YouTube channel, there will be a comment from me, Chaslington, in just a moment's time. And what we'll do is we'll put a link in for the Just Giving page, if it's not already in there anyway. Because then you know where to donate to. Sorry about this this pause in action though. We weren't expecting it to be this strong a pause. You can see on here that I'm still trying to get it all hooked up, but nobody is actually out on circuit at the moment. Just trying to get a word from the organisers on what has gone on at the moment. Ah, right, because it's a private qualifying, you can't actually watch each of the cars, it seems. This was something that we didn't consider beforehand. We thought that you would have been able to at least watch individual ones. Sorry about this. But you get my sultry tones and some wonderful copyright-free music in the meantime. Well, we really do appreciate everyone that has tuned in overall. I believe we're on 9 platforms tonight. Thank you, of course, to Restream, which has been sorted out tonight for us by Simply Race. I've just put the URL in the comments section on the Vertex Stock Car Cup on the Simply Race YouTube channel. If you do want to go and have a look there and try and donate to, of course, buy the NHS staff members personalised gifts, just as a sign of gratitude for everything they've done during this amazingly difficult time. Well, Aaron Smith is currently the driver that is listed on the screen at the moment. Just shows him as Aaron Smith Racing at the moment. Naming a team after himself, good confidence there, of course. That's what you want. But we've got a brilliant, brilliant list of drivers tonight. I did get sent a list not too long ago. I'll just go and grab some of the details off there, so you just know the sort of talent that we're looking at the moment. Callum Cripps asking the real questions. Who's everyone's bets on for the win? Well, don't know about you, but I'm reckoning that despite helping out set it all up, Mr. Sedgwick has got to be one to watch. He's a very, very quick boy in these things. Of course, he was going to be, I believe he was going to be doing Xfinity anyway. Let's have a look then. Alex Wheeler, he did most of the cars actually tonight. Fear Designs, he's on Instagram. He's very active in NASCAR and iRacing. Connor Mills, very accomplished, if I can get my words out, driver in karting and cars as well. Became British karting champion after winning the 2012 Minimax Super 1 Series. And has raced in Ginetta Junior's Formula Ford and Legends Series as well. Ant Wharton-Eels needs no introduction really. UK Clio Cup and Mini Challenge champion, as I said before, and he's raced in the BTCC and Euro NASCAR. Maybe his experience in real world racing can come across well tonight. Sedgwick will bin it at some point, says Callum Cripps. Love it. Absolutely love it. And Ben Kriener is out there as well. He's the youngest Euro NASCAR driver on the grid. He made his debut in the 2019 Elite 2 at the age of 16, so very talented lad. I've met Ben at Autosport. Really, really lovely guy. Very enthusiastic about what he does. Gil Linster, Scott Jeffs and Yevgen Sokolovsky are all Euro NASCAR drivers, whether that's past or present. And James Harvey is in there as well for the Harvey Racing team. He races in the Citroen C1 Racing Cup. In real life, that is. And Student Motorsport is the real life sponsor of his race team. And he is brandishing their colours tonight, I believe. Connor Mills says he's messed up quali, so he's going on a charge for the race. Well, we shall see, Mr. Mills. Student Motorsport themselves commenting, good to see you guys. Great to be part of the championship. Looking forward to the race. Come on, James. We'll have to have a look at how he gets on. But we have a very, very packed grid tonight. I'm just waiting for the results of qualifying to come in. Again, we apologise for the blank screen. Just the way it works with iRacing is that when you've got a private qualifying on an oval, you can't actually watch them individually, unfortunately. And by the end of this race, of course, we're going to be seeing the sun go down and the floodlights come on. So the conditions will change over the course of the race, which is another feature that iRacing brought in not too long ago now. A day-night transition. And the track does cool as it goes further and further along. Personally, I think Dan Rowbottom could really try and show everybody up tonight. He's racing for Luxsim 24 Esports with Cataclean. His teammate out on track is Billy Fletcher. And Ben Kriener as well, racing for Luxsim 24 Esports. So 3 cars effectively for them. One thing that did actually entertain me is the fact that we have 2 drivers listed for this season where they've got Turn 4 Motorsport and Turn 2 Motorsport. I'm not sure whether that's just how far they're expecting to make it in the race. But hopefully they make it a bit further than that. At least we know one of them will always get a little bit further than the rest. Yevgen Sokolovsky is racing for Marco Stipp Motorsport this evening. And in the Euro NASCAR Championship, I believe. Guillaume Hesno for Redface Racing was in the Euro NASCAR E-Series race that we did a couple of weeks ago. And he was great to watch. Very exciting driver. The banking very steep there at Homestead. It doesn't look that steep when you see it that far away, but when you're actually in the car, or effectively in the car, in the sim anyway, it really is a frightening prospect, to be honest. There are plenty of viewers on there tonight. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We've got 66 people watching on the YouTube stream, another 11 on the Vertex Sport Management Facebook page. Hello there. And then quite a lot of others dotted about on the respective pages. Like I say, we're on around 9 platforms tonight. Good to see you all. Fingers crossed this qualifying session will be over just shortly. We're getting messages from the race control. A little bit about our sponsors, actually. It's worth mentioning them. They're in the top right of the screen. A little bit difficult to see against the sky at the moment. But EVP Limited, it's basically one of the real-life sponsors for Alex Sedgwick, based in Warwick. EVP Limited. They distribute a range of automotive and emergency products for the emergency and utility services. They're a European distributor of magnetic mic and command light, the UK distributor of town and country seat covers, TWW emergency accessories, Cusmall Electronics and Havis docking stations, as well as the exclusive UK and European distributor of C3 Sport bike equipment. So to me, sounds like quite a wide range of skills within one company, to be honest with you. At the pit window in this race, they reckon that the cars will do anywhere between 52 and 56 laps on full fuel. Some people might go for 2 stops to keep the tyres fresh, as they'll drop off around 2 seconds a lap after sort of 25 laps or so. So it's going to be very focusing to see how these guys get on with that. Everyone, of course, going to try different strategies tonight, and that's one of the beauties of NASCAR, you know, and stock car racing. They don't really get appreciated for how much strategy is involved, but when you think about how many cautions you could have, whether that bunches the field back up, because they're a lot more common, let's face it, than they are in road racing, it could get very, very interesting to see if any of them overlap, of course, and whether anybody manages to make the most of it or makes the right call at the right time. Apparently the surface here is very abrasive as well, so time management is key here. And the cars do vary a lot in terms of how they handle over the course of a session. So you never know, we might see some of these guys really hanging the back end out towards the end of the race. 99 laps here, 150 miles. A long old way to go. I think it's going to be an exciting one all the same. What's everybody thinking then? Are we going to have a runaway winner tonight? Or are we going to have quite a close race up front for these guys? Again, we apologise for the blank screen at the moment. If you are just joining us, the drivers are in qualifying at the moment, but it's private qualifying, so they're all out on the circuit on their own, not all out in the same session. And as a spectator, you aren't able to watch them, unfortunately. Jake Ashfield says, up the Jeffs. So Scott Jeffs, that will be, for Brax Racing. His teammate Brian Crowles. Again, Brian didn't get in touch last time whether I was getting that wrong or not, the Belgian driver, but we're going to stick with that tonight. My only memory of Brian is actually from the Euro NASCAR race we did a couple of weeks ago, where the bumper was hanging off the back of the car for most of the race and flapping around in the wind. It was like some sort of race car deterrent on the rear end. Runaway winner, Square Balloon says, go on Millsy. That will be Connor Mills of Mills Motorsport. I think, I hope. Neil Ives is out there tonight, Mark Murphy, Yves Liddell from TGS Competition. They're all drivers that were in the Euro NASCAR race a few weeks ago. George Tolsma is out there for George Tolsma Motorsports, another driver with his own team name. René Hugenhout for Let's Sim Racing. He's on the grid too with Jazz Harvey, that's James Harvey from Student Motorsport we mentioned before. And Andrew Derrick from Bumper Munchers. Now that, for me, at the moment, is my favourite team name. Big fan of that. Let us know in the comments what your favourite team name is that you've ever seen, whether it comes to sim racing or real life racing. Hopefully we'll see some very banterous names chucked in. But for the next 5 weeks, this is how your Wednesday nights will be, or I hope they will be for me anyway. 5 weeks of the series. It's going to be
Sorry, Chaz.
so exciting.
It looks like your screen's frozen. If you'd just like to refresh it.
Oh, okay. Apparently not. Let's have a quick look. Got nothing at the moment. Going live, still got nothing in the session. Just bear with me, everybody. I'll just pause the music 2 seconds. I'll go back to the thumbnail that we had at the start, and I'll be right back with you. One moment. Okay. Apologies, everybody, but it seems that the issue with the qualifying session has actually affected things at my end, so we have missed the start. So what we're doing is just jumping back in now. I'm really sorry about this, but we will be on in just a moment. The race is underway, unfortunately, already. But we'll crack on, and in just a moment when we get back in the session, we'll catch up with how everybody is getting on. Like I say, I'm very, very sorry about that. Please accept my biggest apologies. Not the greatest way to start off the season, is it? But we are just loading back into the session now, so give us a few moments and we'll be straight back on it for you. Okay, so as you would have heard then from the noises, the very, very well-known noises of NASCAR machinery. We are back on, and here we are then. The race is currently on. Ben Kriener it is that's leading the way at the moment for Luxim 24 eSports. Just behind him is Alex Sedgwick. Get your words out, Chaz. Vertex eSports. Then Lewis Courtney is in 3rd position for Naya Racing. Antwater Eels is in 4th place with Aaron Smith in 5th. Just behind in the background there is Alistair Topley, just attacking Aaron Smith down the inside into turn 1. Pops and flames from the cars as they lift off on the overrun, and Alistair Topley gets the job done. Lap 14 of 99 at the moment then. Sparks are flying as they kiss the wall going into turn 3. Adrian Burks is currently rounding out the top 10. We'll go on board with him for a lap. There you go, the beautiful sunset as well, just so you can see how this looks from theirs. Like I said, everybody, sorry about the technical issues there. Not sure what happened there. We'll catch up with Dan Rowbottom. He's in 15th at the moment, just behind Scott Jeffs for Brax Racing. Going around turns 1 and 2, right on his rear is Liam Silkstone of XII Racing. Liam all over the back of him. Down the inside into turns 3 and 4. Through he goes. Looks like Andrew Derrick has had a bit of a nightmare start. He's down at the back of the field, 30th. Yevgen Sokolovsky's had an issue and he hasn't started the race by the look of it. But up front, Ben Kriener under pressure here. Well, there's the gearbox camera. Not the best in the world, is it? Gets covered up by its own bumper. But Ben Kriener under pressure here from Alex Sedgwick in the number 9. And like I said before the broadcast began, Sedgwick is definitely one to watch. Dan Rowbottom having a good scrap here with Neil Ives in that very distinct bright green number 52 car. You're not going to miss that in a hurry, are you? And behind them as well, George Tolsma in this very pink machine, number 25. Great livery on that, very bright. These cars making a right racket. The NASCAR machinery is good at that, let me tell you. It's good that iRacing have mapped it so much that these things are so much louder than everything else. I'm going to turn them down just a tad so you can hear me a little bit clearer. This is Alex Wheeler for the originals. 20th place overall at the moment. He has Mark Murphy just behind him for Turn 4 Motorsport. There's a good battle going on behind here as well. Oliver Fowler in the 96 down the inside. Sorry, there's Oliver Fuller on the outside in the 18. He's just gone past the 96 of Aaron Cook, who behind him there has Gil Linster, Euro NASCAR driver. He's got Jonathan Rex just behind him. Really cuts across him there, does Gil. Not taking any previous cautions there. Down the inside of Aaron Cook as well. He's had quite a long run wide there. Dan Rowbottom has come in the pit lane. Locks it up, gets it stopped. Not sure what that's for, whether he's trying to get out in clear air or not. We'll see. He's gone flying down the order. He's still close at the front though. This is Kriener. Sedgwick chasing him there as well. Orton Eels, of course, just a little bit further back. But Lewis Courtney, he's going to be the one to watch here. He's hoping that these guys get caught up in something and he can just pick up the pieces. Plenty of pops and bangs on the overrun. Hope you're all enjoying the show at the moment though. Thank you for tuning in. It's great to see the palm trees as they run down the back straight, and Sedgwick has gone for the lead on Kriener. Takes the tighter line though, can't carry the speed around the final corner. Looks like Kriener's got the run. Can he just slot in front before turn 1? He's going to keep the high line though. Sedgwick down the inside. He's got a really good run through there as Alex Sedgwick. Through he goes. Bit of a slide though on the exit. Behind them as well. It's very close between Ant Horton Eels and Alistair Topley in 5th place. Sedgwick though to the lead and trying to follow him through. Number 54, Lewis Courtney for Naya Racing. Oh, so close to contact there between Kriener and Sedgwick. Slots in behind. I can imagine the things that Ben will be saying right now, I can't tell you. But Alex Sedgwick to the front. Here is Wharton Eels and Topley. A little bit further back as well. Adrian Burks has got a right train behind him of Brian Crowell's Billy Fletcher. Aaron Smith is just behind this as well in the bright yellow Bumblebee. Love that. Good to see. But this is the Brax racing car of Brian Crowell's. 48, just behind him 88 of Billy Fletcher. Billy gets his foot down, tries to get a good run down the straight. Oh, it sounded like someone was a bit sideways in Adnishi there. It's Ant Wharton Eels. Oh, he gets a kiss. He got a tap there. I think that was Guillaume Hesno, and Ant Wharton Eels is around. Manages to stop it doing a 360 or a 180 at least. Let's have a look at how that all started off for Ant Wharton Eels. Oh, it started even before that there. Oh, he was completely sideways way before that, to be fair, wasn't he? Yeah, it's not going to take us back far enough, unfortunately. Oh, he got a tap. And that has not helped his cause at all. And here he is now, down in 25th place. James Harvey here for Student Motorsport. Just gone past Jay Glenn in the number 55, but you wouldn't know it because the numbers are white on the side of a white car. Scott Jeffs has just got past him as well. Love the livery though on James Harvey's Student Motorsport car. Saw some of the pictures of his driver suits as well earlier on that looked absolutely brilliant. And Brian Crowell has gone to 7th place, you're right. Guillaume Hesno did slow down a little bit. Oh, Ant Wharton Eels off again here. He's having some real issues. And there's a caution out now. So the yellow flag is out. You can see the lights at the side of the circuit there. And the pace car comes out for the first time tonight. Peter Phillipson has apparently gone off the circuit. Oh wow, there it is, there's the contact, and that's why Ant Wharton Eels was off the track. That was the number 4, Alex Wheeler, that got involved there. We'll have another look at it. Oh, he just comes up slightly, doesn't he, as they get out there. Ant Wharton Eels actually gets sort of pushed out the way by Alex Wheeler there. He got quite lucky with it, and in the pits, of course, is Peter Phillipson now. But here's the field, just behind the iRacing Mustang pace car. Sedgwick leads the way from Kriener, Corton. Topley is there in 4th with Mills and Burks behind him. Brian Crowell's in 7th with Hesno and Fletcher in 9th, and then Aaron Smith 10th. James Harvey 11th. Scott Jeffs 12th with Jay Glenn in 13th. Liam Silkstone 14th and Neil Ives in 15th. Dan Rowbottom still out on track. He's gone back out there in the Luxim eSports Cataclean car. Just joining onto the rear of the field. That's Andrew Derrick in front of him. I tell a lie, it's George Tolsma in front of him. Some cars coming in the pit lane, actually, quite a lot of them in the pits. Pretty much everybody in the pit lane then. They see the chance to take fresh tyres. Apologies for the pit objects disappearing there. There's the number 70, that's Aaron Smith. Car popping up on the jacks. Right side then left side. And away they go, and Sedgwick just beats Kriener out of the pit lane. And it's Alex Wheeler that's at the top of the order at the moment. You can see all the guys filtering through, coming out of the pits. But Alex Wheeler in that not quite straight Toyota Camry. We may be seeing him come in the pits shortly. Or at least you'd hope so with the car that damaged, wouldn't you? He's doing a lot of weaving. Here's Sedgwick then in 2nd, Kriener 3rd. Connor Mills now 4th with Lewis Corton in 5th. Just behind him there is Alistair Topley in the number 41 car. And yes, Wheeler does come into the pit lane. So that gives Alex Sedgwick the race lead again. Just in front of him there is actually Dan Rowbottom. Here is a lap down. Not the way that Dan would have wanted to start his campaign. But either way, you've got to get on with it, haven't you? Dan won't give up, that's for sure. And around he goes, the lucky dog, of course. Gets to take back a lap. So now Sedgwick will lead the field. good to see a high-profile fight at the front of the field. Sedgwick, Kriener and Mills, of course, real racing drivers. They are considered the pros, in inverted commas, in this championship. So we'll see how they get on. 28 laps complete already. What do we think so far? From what we've seen very briefly, do we think that we're going to see a runaway winner in the form of Alex Sedgwick, or is Ben going to push him all the way to the end? What do we think? All I know is it's going to look great when the floodlights come on. Alex Wheeler back in the pit lane again. Has he been done for speeding in the pit lane or something, do you reckon? Still not fixed the car. Oh, he stops very, very late there. Oh, I think he's missed his box completely. He has. There's the fast repair on Alex's car. Here's Gil Linster in 18th at the moment, overall. Number 44 car. Before we know it, these guys will probably line up 2 by 2 and get this thing back underway then. Sedgwick at the front of the field. And the caution's away, and Sedgwick and Kriener, a very equal start there. Connor Mills just waiting behind. Oh, it looks like there's a crash in the background. Yes, there is. They say cautions breed cautions. And another one has come out almost instantly. Neil Ives being caught up in it. Let's go on board with Neil Ives, see if we can catch what happened. I saw Liam Silkstone flying down the order straight away. Oh, that's cheeky. Oh, that's very cheeky from Neil Ives. Oh, and it serves him right, really. He gets taken out very, very quickly. We'll have another look at it while these guys go for another caution. Bit naughty that from Neil Ives. And the 58 in front of him as well. We'll go around the outside. Oh, he makes contact all on his own with James Harvey, to be honest. Turns across him, very silly move. Oh, and he gets collected very hard there. That was the number 23. That was Andrew Derrick collecting him. And Mark Murphy, it seems, got away with that. But Alex Sedgwick still at the lead of the field. And 2 cautions within the space of a couple of laps. George Tolsma has a little bit of damage on the car. Seen a couple of comments come in for George. Fingers crossed the guys that have received damage can get back out there and get a better result than it may be looking at the moment. Here's Jeff Hooper of E30 Motorsports, not really giving him much airtime yet. Yves Liddell as well, TGS competition. Just a couple of places back, number 51. I believe Yves Liddell and Gil Linster are teammates. Yeah, they've got the same livery on, same team name as well. That should give it away. Oh, Martin Mollett's had an issue there under caution. What is going on? And oh, he's been clipped by Dan Rowbottom. What has gone on there, boys? Let's have a look. This is Martin Mollett, number 11. Coming into turn 1. Oh, he changes it down, loses the rear end, and then back on track straight in front of Dan Rowbottom, who really just went straight on. Nightmare there. Apparently Andrew Derrick's had an incident as well. I'm not surprised with the car that looks like that. Apparently something has gone wrong for Andrew Derrick. Or has he just checked up and got involved in all of this? Oh, he has, yeah. He's locked up all fours and gone down the banking. Anyway, it'll be time to go again in just a second. Alex Cedric and Ben Kriener from the front row of the grid. Or front row of the field, I should say. It's not quite a grid at this point, is it? That iRacing pace car tonight is going to get its money's worth by the look of it. The wonderful Mustang that you can see just in front there. The guys will be looking after their tyres at this point of the race. So some of them may be very grateful for this moment. The lights on the safety car are still on, so we'll have one more lap. I believe they'll go 2 by 2 now. Lewis Courtn's definitely one to watch here in 4th place, and so behind him, Alistair Topley. Impressed by those two at the moment. Adrian Burks of Blitz Motorsports, and Brian Crowles from Brax Racing. Flying around the outside there is Peter Phillipson of The Left Turn, and that's exactly what he's doing right now, as he gets given a lap back on the field. Please do let me know what you think of the stream so far. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. Hope you're enjoying everything that's going on. If there is anything that you would like to feed back, I will happily take it on board so we can bring you the best coverage that we can. My name is Chaz Draycott and I'm going to be your host for these 5 races this season. And you never know, hopefully if it turns out well for the rest of the championship we can do this again. But I'm certainly looking forward to getting this race back underway and seeing these guys at full chat. Here is Aaron Smith, currently 8th at the moment, just ahead of Guillaume Hesno for Red Face Racing. Love that livery. Saw it at Brands Hatch a few weeks ago. On iRacing, of course. Just behind there, the back end of the top 10 is Scott Jeffs for Brax Racing. Oliver Fowler, or Fowler, sorry if I'm getting that wrong, Oliver, for Rogue Motorsport is in 21st overall at the moment. As the field now starts to go 2 by 2, the lights on the safety car are out. Which means we'll get underway once again. Lap 35 of 99 at the moment. Ben Kriener lighting it up, trying to style it out by the look of it. We have 24 cars still on the lead lap. The last of them at the moment is Billy Fletcher, Ben Kriener's teammate. So here we go. Get your bets in, everybody. What do you reckon we're going to see? They come around the final corner once again to get back going. Thank you very much, Jerry, on the YouTube stream. Says, looks good, Chaz. Thank you. Thank you, Callum Cripps, as well. So Alex has gone for a single file restart. Well, not just Alex, I suppose. Everyone has as they get away then. Ben Kriener just in the chase behind him. We're going to go on board here with Alistair Topley because it's very, very close between these boys. Looks like someone further down, Aaron Cook and Jeff Hooper, are having a good scrap, but Alistair Topley in number 41 really trying to put the pressure on at the moment, just ahead of Aaron Smith. That was Guillaume Heslo going down to the inside of Adrian Burks, really putting the pressure on. Trying everything he can. Here's Mark Murphy, the cheeky one that did the very, very sneaky restart before. You can't be sneaky in a car that's as brightly coloured as that, Mark. Sort it out. Covered in Hellman's sponsorship. Love it. He's trying to follow Guillaume Hesno down the inside of these guys as well. Oh, there was smoke in front. Not sure whether that was just a lock-up from somebody or whether there was a humongous slide, but they've done a great job all the same not to lose it. It's so easy to do it in these cars, especially around here. We still have Mark Murphy down the inside of Adrian Birks, and this is for 8th position. Guillaume Hesno now up into 7th place. Ben Kriener has taken the lead of the race. He's still side by side with Alex Sedgwick though, but he's got the inside line going into turn 1. Can he hold on to it? There you go. Ben Kriener, your new race leader, everybody. Alex is not going to take that line down though. He's going to want to put the pressure back on. Connor Mills, not Millers, is the head of this train following though. Sedgwick having a look. Puts the nose down the inside, forces Ben to go up wide. We're going to see a lot of this over the course of the race. You can see the shadows now starting to form as the floodlights come on. Here's Topley trying to get past Corton. Still not had any luck with it yet. Gil Linster and Jonathan Rex are having a good scrap further down. Jonathan's got a bit of damage on the front of that car, so it can't be helping him. Wharton Eels is back up into 12th place. Oh, there's tyre smoke in front. Is that a car around? No, not quite. May have been a slide though or something from Aaron Smith. Scott Jeffs is still inside the top 10. And Kriener is still trying to get away from Alex Sedgwick, but Alex looks fierce in that Mustang. Ben in the Chevrolet. He's got another Chevy behind him as well. Mark Murphy and Guillaume Hesno having their battle now side by side. With them there is Adrian Birks in the number 72. Side by side down the back straight. Guillaume wants to go to the inside, but he can't because Birks is there, and Birks is making sure that he knows he's there. Maybe a bit of side draft he's trying there. Here is Adrian Birks of Blitz Motorsports. Love that livery, and trying to take advantage too is Scott Jeffs here. He's going to come through. Somebody is really lighting up the rears in front. I'm thinking it might be Brian Crowles. He's trying so hard to get past some of these guys. Oh, Aaron Cook is dropping down the order all of a sudden. Seems like he's out of the race. We looked at Martin Mollett in the number 11, lost it earlier on. He is in 23rd position at present. I've just noticed how close Hesno is to the back of Scott Jeffs. It's very close indeed. We'll show you the battle box just so you can see how close these guys are together. That's Aaron Smith trying to go around the outside, or hold it around the outside of Ant Wharton Eels, who is making great progress back through the pack here. We're going to go on board with him. So you can just see it on board from Ant's point of view. Kriener still leading the way from Sedgwick, Mills, Corton and Topley. Look how fast they go down this back straight. So quick indeed. We've got it in kilometres an hour at the bottom, but nearly 180 miles an hour down there. Heck of a lot of speed from these guys. So close to the wall as well. The outside of that car and Ant won't have a number 10 on it by the end of the race. We look forward though to the race leader, and Connor Mills actually is starting to close in on these boys here in the very bright number 7 Mills Motorsport car. They're getting closer and closer lap after lap. Thank you everybody for tuning in at the moment. Over 100 viewers combined from all the platforms that are on at the moment. And down the inside for the lead goes Alex Sedgwick, very close with Ben Kriener into turn 1. What can Connor Mills see though? What is his point of view? There is Ben Kriener on the outside, carrying a heck of a lot of speed down the back straight. I quite like the fisheye effect on the GoPro that we have on the dashboard of these cars. Runs out a little bit wide, nearly making contact. He has to get out the throttle there, you hear it. And can Corton come through here to try and take advantage? Doesn't look like he got a good run off the corner, maybe a little bit of aero push. And round the outside here is Alistair Topley in the 41, but he may get caught napping here by Brian Crowles down the inside in the Brax racing car. So close between these top few. Sedgwick now out in front by a little bit of space here because of that almost coming together from Kriener and Mills. Means that he's got a bit of breathing space now. Alistair Topley gets a great run down the back straight. Maybe he can finally get past Lewis Corton into turn 1. but he's still on the outside. He needs to get a really good run off one of these to make sure he slings shots in front. He's making sure that Corton has to take a tighter line anyway. Corton slots in behind him now, so Topley up to 4th in the 41. Just behind Brian Crowles coming through. Ant Wharton-Eales, oh, very close for comfort with Guillaume Hesno. And Aaron Smith thinks, thank you very much, boys. I will take that any day of the week. Through he goes. Ant Wharton-Eales, another position gained in his run back up the order. Here's Jay Glenn in 13th, just holding on to these guys in number 55. Dan Rowbottom still running at the moment, same with James Harvey. We saw him caught up in an incident before. Shame to see James so far down the order in the number 40. Fingers crossed he can recover near the end of the race. We're already getting near the halfway point now, lap 47 out of 99. We should see pit stops around, I'd say probably lap 65 to 70, because these guys had a caution about 20 laps in, wasn't it? But it looks like Sedgwick's doing a great job at the moment. Corton hasn't let Topley get away here near the front, but he's also under a bit of pressure from Brian Crowles. Scott Jeffs is very close to the back of Mark Murphy. He puts it down the inside into turn 4. He's washing up wide there. I bet Mark needed his Hellman's mayonnaise after that. He would have been very, very scared of it. He slots back in behind him. Of course, Ant Wharton-Eales wants these guys to carry on fighting, just so he can try and take advantage. This is Rene Hugenhout on the outside with Billy Fletcher for Luxim 24 Esports on the inside. They both go very deep into turn 1 there. Rene running right up near the wall. And Billy goes through into 18th place. Some of the closest guys on track are actually these boys here. This is Mark Murphy with Scott Jeffs, Ant Wharton-Eales and Aaron Smith just behind. I tell you what, Ant has really impressed me in this. I know he's good at oval racing, he knows what he's doing in these bits of kit, but wow, he is really on a charge at the moment after that incident earlier. All over the back of Scott Jeffs in the Brax racing car. You can see the lap times on the left-hand side. And puts his nose down the inside of Scott Jeffs. Oh, it looked like there was a bit of a tap there. Maybe a tiny bit of contact to get through. Luckily, Scott doesn't get turned around by it. And Alex Sedgwick, you know, is checked out at the front here. Look at the gap back to Ben Carina. I say checked out, but, you know, in NASCAR, that's quite a big gap, so he's going to be happy with that, especially with Connor Mills now putting Ben Carina under pressure. As they go into turn 1, just behind, that was Brian Crowles looking down the inside of Lewis Corton. No contact, only just as well. They were so close to just tapping each other. Out of turn 1, there's Sedgwick, Carina, Mills, and Topley, Corton and Crowles behind. Sedgwick making his race his own at the moment. Corton's gone down the inside of Topley. Topley's a little bit higher up the banking, but he of course can carry the better speed on the exit. There's 1,000,001 different lines that you can take around a circuit like this at Homestead Miami. Just want to say a quick thank you as well to the race sponsor tonight, EVP Limited. One of the real life sponsors for Alex Sedgwick. And tonight's race sponsor as well. They are a automotive and emergency product distributor. That's vehicular emergency products. And we're very pleased to have them on board for this round. Don't forget, there is a good cause behind this tonight as well. There is a Just Giving page set up. If you go to Just Giving, as we just see there, Crowles is going to have a right good show in front of him now. As Corton goes down the inside of Topley, looks like Topley had a bit of an issue. Mark Murphy has also been overtaken by Ant Wharton-Eales, who now moves up to 8th position. He's coming for these guys at the front. Do you reckon he could come through and maybe take a win? Let us know in the comments what you think. because Mark Murphy couldn't do anything there by the look of it. Ant is on a charge, driving well and defending. Oh, he's blinked in and out a little bit there. That may have been what some of the smoke was that we saw before. A couple of issues with connection. Here's Gil Linster on the back of Guillaume Hesno, the TGS competition. They have Jay Glenn just hanging off the back there in the number 55. Quite a dent in the back of his car though. And Connor Mills has made the move on Ben Kriener now. Let's have a quick look back as to how he got it done. Oh, Ben kisses the wall quite aggressively there. Slings it down low, nearly loses it, and Connor Mills goes through like he wasn't even there. And now Ben is under pressure from Lewis Corton and Alistair Topley. These two have been great to watch so far. Almost making contact there out of 1 and 2. Crowell's in there too. This is a great scrap near the front. One of the best battles in the field by the look of it. Definitely one of the closest. I mean, Gil Linster and Guillaume Hesno are still close together a bit further down, but nobody as close as these boys. Topley and Corton. Crowell's now coming in on this as well. Is he going to make it 3 wide? Does he want to? Adrian Burks, he's also in here too. Don't forget about Adrian. You can see how hard they're all pushing as they all go a lot wider than usual around there. Watch out for Adrian in the red car at the back, the Blitz Motorsports car. He wants in, and he has got his ticket stamped to send it. Down the inside he goes as well. Alistair Topley can't do anything to defend at the moment, and this is the thing with oval racing. You can easily get freight trained if you end up on the outside line and there's someone else waiting to come through. But as I was saying before, there is a Just Giving page set up. We do want to donate all of our donations tonight and all proceedings to purchasing personalised gifts for NHS workers, just as a thank you for everything they're doing during this difficult time. And Alistair Topley seems to have succumbed now to Adrian Burks, who moves up again. Where's Ant Wharton-Eales? You can just see him on the right. He's shot there in the black and red car. He isn't too far back from this, and he's starting to close in as we go on to lap 59 out of 99 for Alex Sedgwick. Here's the battle for second place. Connor Mills and Ben Kriener right together. Crowell's is stuck in the middle. Luckily there's not clowns to the left of him, jokers to the right. Adrian Burks is going to think that in a minute though, if Alistair Topley makes any more moves on him. He's all over the place trying to get through. Change of position further back. Jonathan Rex has just lost a spot to Jeff Hooper in front of him there. Jeff in the E30 eSports, sorry, E30 Motorsports car. Billy Fletcher just behind these guys there in the 88. And George Tolsma is still going with that very, very bent car. That's Oliver Fowler and Neil Ives just behind him. Love the livery on that number 18. And that isn't Neil Ives, I do apologise. Neil Ives is in the very bright green car. That is Peter Phillipson in the number 5. But we go back to the front to see how these guys are getting on. And it's still nose to tail. But Ant Wharton-Eales and Aaron Smith are gradually closing in here. So this battle is only going to get bigger as it goes on. Side by side there between Kriener and Corton. Corton did drop a few places before when Topley finally got past him, but he's on a real charge now. I think Ben might be struggling with the damage that he's got in that 38 Luxim car. Thanks, of course, to Luxim 24 for helping put this together with us. Oh, Ant Wharton-Eales really down low there as the car got away from him. Bit of a flash in and out there for Lewis Corton. Hopefully we don't see too much of that. Looks like it's going to be a great view from Topley a little bit further back. Look at these boys around. That's Crowell's on the left, Adrian Burks just in front. The Brax Racing car on the right-hand side there. Just poking into the right of the shot, into 3 and 4. And Topley trying to go back down the inside. He hasn't quite got his nose in front yet. Needs to be careful that he doesn't tag the back of Adrian Burks. He's very close to him. Not quite bump drafting range though. Looks like Adrian's trying to move on Ben Kriener as well. You can hear so many pops and bangs on the overrun. Further down the order, Jonathan Rex is all over the back of Billy Fletcher. Here is that battle. Fletcher 16th, Rex in 17th. I think Billy may have actually just got through. To be honest, he has actually, yes, just a moment ago. here's Aaron Smith's point of view in the very, very yellow car. He's got Antwater Niels just here to his left. Down the inside he goes. That's another position gained. Although actually it's not, because Antwater Niels and Aaron Smith were fighting earlier. So he hasn't gained much else. Please remember to like any platform that you're on at the moment. Subscribe, follow, do all that lovely stuff that you need to do. We've got 5 rounds of this championship. 4 of them left to go after this one. Some of them on ovals, some of them on road circuits. So these drivers need to display a great mix of talent. Here's Hesno just losing out to Jay Glenn there in the Tech 55 motorsport car. Alex Sedgwick at the moment is 2 seconds in the lead of this field. As Yves Liddell coming in the pit lane now. Might be time to change tyres for him. But this is your race leader, and the car all over the thumbnails and all the pictures that you may have seen. Oh, as Antwater Niels has gone past Brian Krause, it's kicking off up here. Antwater Niels is flying up the order. What has happened here? I want to have a look at what happened between these guys. Oh, Antwater Niels nearly makes contact with Ben Creaner. We've got a lot of cars coming in the pits. Guillaume Hesno, the top of them at the moment. Let's just have a quick check of what happened. Oh, it looks like Creaner got out of shape. Krause was in there as well, and Antwater Niels just flies through the middle. Gives a little bit of a push to Alistair Topley. And away they go. Antwater Niels now up to 6th position. Ben Creaner there coming into the pit lane. Oh, is he around and he's going to tip the wall? Oh, he has done. He smacks the nose into the wall, does Ben Creaner. He's going to hit the rear of it as well. The number 62 goes past, that's Jonathan Rex. And Ben Creaner's race has really gone downhill now. That's such a shame for Ben. He was running so well at the front of the order. Here's the rest of the rabble that was left to carry on. We'll have to see where Ben can filter back out. Are any of these guys going to duck to the pits? Let's have a look. Ben Creaner still hasn't even got in his box yet. He's just got into his pit box now as I say that. Mark Murphy coming in the pit lane. I think he came in just a moment ago as well, actually. Either that or he drove straight through. Not sure why. Guillaume Hesno coming round now then. Is he going to go past Ben Creaner? He is, because here is Ben Creaner. Still in his pit box. Plenty of cars going past him. What is Alex Sedgwick up to at the front? He's only 1 second ahead of Lewis Corton now, so he's lost a bit of time to him. Maybe getting past the back markers there. That is the number 25 car of George Tolsma in George Tolsma Motorsports. The aerodynamically challenged Toyota Camry. Who have we got coming in there? Antwater Niels is up to 5th now. Ahead of Alistair Topley, behind Adrian Burks. And then Aaron Smith and Brian Krause in there as well. But this is a fantastic drive from Ant at the moment. Ben Creaner is now a lap down. He's just overtaken Martin Mollett, who's going very slowly indeed. That's Mark Murphy there, just behind him, who's actually a lap ahead. Oh, Jonathan Rex is around as a car on its roof. That's Alex Wheeler. Alex had a horrible night tonight, and so too has James Harvey. James Harvey's gone off as well. Oh, wow, let's have a look at what happened here. Oh, it's James Harvey loses it, clips Rex. And then I think James Harvey probably got hit by Alex Wheeler as well. Onto the infield, luckily. They don't completely block the track. And it hasn't even brought out a caution. This is Jonathan Rex trying to get the car back. Jeff Hooper's in the pits here. A couple of them in there as well, actually. Alex Wheeler, of course, one of them. Yves Liddell in the pit lane as well. This is Jeff Hooper now leaving the pit lane. I'm trying to keep up with this as best I can, guys. I hope you're enjoying it. Antwater Niels down the inside now of Adrian Burks. What do we think of Antwater Niels? Do we think that he can take a win here? Do we think that he can come through that quickly? He's just going up slightly high there to Burks. Wow, look at that for close racing. Amazing between the two of them. Such fantastic close quarter stuff. Aaron Smith, oh, and Scott Jeffs giving each other a bit of loving as they come into the pit lane there. Aaron Smith obeying the rules of the pit lane. In the fast lane on the right. Into the merging lane. And then into his box. His is the last pit box in the pit lane as well, I remember. can't miss it. And in he goes. Bit of a tame stop into the box. And here is your race leader then, Alex Sedgwick in the number 9. Now I don't want anybody calling fix if he wins this, because he's doing a fine job and he should be allowed to do that. Here's Jay Glenn then into the pit lane. Really slowing it down there. Not quite sure he got that slowed down in time, but we'll see, won't we? Scott Jeffs just coming out of the pit lane, or is he? Something's gone wrong here for Scott Jeffs of Brax Racing, and there's a caution out. Caution out on track. So that is going to slow everybody down now. Doesn't look like anybody went off track or anything in particular caused that. I believe we may just had a competition caution. We do have our race director Mike in the booth with us. Was that a competition one, Mike? Not sure if he can hear me actually at the moment. He's probably got a billion and one things going on.
Sorry, if you just repeat your question for me, Chaz.
Yeah, did you? Was that a competition caution, mate, or are we looking at one caused by an incident on track?
No, it was caused by that incident.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Unfortunately. The race, this actually brings it closer together for the final third, basically. So we'll wait and see what happens. Everyone's behaving. Just.
Yeah, just about. How do you feel from your point of view so far? Are you enjoying watching this?
Yeah, it's good. A lot of drivers, unfortunately, especially after the caution, are lighting up the rear tyres, which is causing them to spin quite considerably, or driving to each other's paths, causing incidents on the restart on the first lap. So it has been interesting. Maybe, hopefully you're not catching too much on the stream. They are all talking to each other out there through my headset. Well, they've just nudged each other in the pit lane as well.
Oh, lovely. Lovely. So, you know, you're going to be ruling with an iron fist before you know it, but I'll leave you with it, mate, and we will potentially speak to you later on.
Alright, speak to you soon. Bye now.
Out there, Michael Yao, our race director, and Alex Sedgwick is back out in front. Lewis Corton is there in second with Connor Mills in third. Can't miss Connor Mills' car, can you? But like Mike said there, makes it very, very interesting for the final third here. There is a random draw as well tonight, by the way. And some of these drivers do get a random draw where they win $15 in iRacing credits to spend on whatever content they please. But we see some cracking racing so far tonight. I really do hope that you are enjoying yourselves. I certainly am up here. Apologies about the technical issues early on. We will make sure that that is ironed out for next time. That was Dan Rowbottom really getting on the anchors there, bringing it into the pit lane. Dan having a bit of a rough and tumble night tonight. We may get a word with him later on, not quite sure. Same with Ben Kreener. It's a shame to see Ben drop down the order from that incident before. He was doing so well up at the front of the field, battling along with the other guys. There is Mark Murphy in the number 58 for Turn 4 Motorsport. Not sure whether they are actually sponsored by Hellman's Mayonnaise, but I like the livery all the same. Billy Fletcher's found himself in 5th place in the race at the moment. Some of these cars, of course, are lapped down. Here's Alex Sedgwick, your race leader. Lewis Corton there just behind him. Connor Mills just behind him with Alistair Topley. And then Billy Fletcher. The top 5 all still together. Then a couple of cars ahead of them maybe chucked around for a lap so they can catch back up. Here's Yves Liddell coming out the pit lane for TGS competition. Looks like a couple of guys here we have lost from the race. Either that or they've got so many repairs that they can't get them done. James Harvey, I'm afraid, is one of them. Real shame to see that for James. But just in front of Alex Sedgwick there is Liam Silkstone in the XI iRacing car, number 194. Also with Luxim 24 sponsorship on the side. A couple of these guys are going to get waved around now, I believe. Or I hope so anyway. This is Jeff Hooper in the number 79. Yep, they do go around. The lights on the safety car are out. So it's going to be up to Alex Sedgwick again to lead them away. This time, though, Lewis Corton, he's one to watch. So is Alistair Topley. Connor Mills has been up there this whole time. 22 laps to go. What do you guys think? What are we going to see now for the end of this race? Please do keep your comments coming in. We'd like to know what you think, how are you finding it so far, and what you look forward to the rest of the season as well. It's bound to be a fantastic championship. As Alex Sedgwick then gets them 2 by 2. He's got Lewis Corton just behind him. Pace car pulls out the way. And Sedgwick gets the hammer down. Connor Mills gets a really good getaway there. Alistair Topley has got, wow, 3 wide almost already there. Billy Fletcher is in the middle. Brian Crowles goes down the inside. Guillaume Hesno's in there too. Billy Fletcher's been caught napping. Alistair Topley has to go down to the inside to avoid Connor Mills. So close to being all of them. Looks like Gil Linster's had a nightmare there. He's into 9th place. Look at Topley all the way down the inside. 3 wide that's going to be. And that is Lewis Corton, who's had a nightmare there. Almost making contact. 3 wide round 3 and 4. Running a little bit sideways. Bit of contact there. Billy Fletcher's going to kiss the wall on the outside. Surely Brian Crowles is going to get the run. And all this playing into the hands of Alex Sedgwick. There's Adrian Burks down the inside of Guillaume Hesno. Doesn't look like there's any incidents further down the order either. Antwan Eels is back in 10th position again. Clearly didn't go his way in the pit stops. Just on his outside there is the number 82. That's Rene Hugenhout. He's a bit far down the order actually. He's 18th overall and a lap down on these boys, so he's just trying to get out of the way. It's the fastest sector 1 of the entire race at the moment for Connor Mills, so he is flying, trying to chase down race leader Alex Sedgwick, but there goes Alex into the lead. And Scott Jeffs, I think, had an issue at the end of the pit lane. I really don't know what happened to him, unfortunately. If I knew, I'd tell you. But there is Connor Mills then. We've still got battles going on behind. Look at these guys, 2 by 2. Alistair Topley and Brian Crowles. Then it's Adrian Burks and Billy Fletcher really close together through NASCAR 3 and 4. George Tolsma here is a lap down on these guys. He's letting them go at the moment. Letting some of these guys go. Fastest lap of the race for Connor Mills there. You can see on the left hand side an incredible time of 33.19. 0.03 of a second quicker than Alex Sedgwick as Corton goes back into 3rd. Oh, Brian Crowles has had a nightmare. He's lost 2 places here. It seems to change around a lot on my timing screen there. Another fastest lap of the race for Mills. He is on fire now. It's Connor Mills doing everything he needs to do. There they go then. So it's Sedgwick, Mills, Corton, Crowles, Topley, Fletcher, Hesno and Burks. Topley to the inside, feeling like he has to defend. Guillaume Hesno sends it up the inside of Billy Fletcher. We've seen a lot of guys wash up wide through the final corner and almost make contact. Onto lap 83 of the race. Side by side over the line. 33.196 for Sedgwick. Almost the fastest lap of the race. So those boys at the front trading lap times at the moment as Connor goes chasing after him. This is a great scrap between these guys. Absolutely loving watching this. Neil Ives is involved in quite a good battle further down the order. He's actually battling for position there with Rene Hugenhout. Just ahead of them is Jonathan Rex and Peter Phillipson. 2 by 2. But we do have to stick with this, I'm sorry. Billy Fletcher there, sparks flying from the wall. Hesno looks to the inside of Topley. Can he get it done here? Can Guillaume Hesno? Oh, the caution is out. Caution out again. Oh, wow, Martin Mullet, just as we catch him, flies into the wall. Peter Phillipson, just as we cut away from these boys, they caused an accident. Oh, and apparently Jeff Hooper's off the track as well. Let's see what happened here. So it's Jonathan Rex on the inside, Phillipson on the outside. Oh, wow, big bit of contact. Phillipson around, gets caught by Hugenhout. And Phillipson drops down. Oh, the number 79, that's Jeff Hooper, goes flying into him, and then the back end of his car hits the number 11, which is Martin Mollett. And we have another caution. Lap 85 of 99. And this now means, ideally for Connor Mills, that he can now close up to the back of Alex Sedgwick for this race lead. And not a problem, Jerry, in the YouTube chat. I like to try and make sure that people know what's going on if one of their drivers has dropped down. If I do know, I will tell you, don't worry. Thank you everybody that has joined us tonight, the first of 5 rounds. 5 weeks running on Wednesday nights from the same time, 7:45 PM British summertime. My name is Chaz Draycott, known to a lot of people as Chaslington, as Sedgwick tries to sell them the dummy. And I'm really looking forward to bringing you all of the action week after week for this. Thank you for everybody that has got me involved, which is LuxSim24, Vertex Sport Management, and of course Simply Race, Mike, our race director. He probably hates me right now if I've pronounced his surname wrong, but we'll see. I'm sure he'll have a word with me afterwards. Lewis Corton's impressed me at the moment, 3rd place as things stand. Morton Eels here back up to 8th position. Gil Linster there just inside the top 10. He's 7th at the moment. Some of these guys being promoted, of course, down to pit stops for other people. Here's Ben Greener, currently running 15th overall. Unfortunate for Ben because he had such a promising start to the race up front. We'll have to see how he can finish it, whether he can make a push forward. Same goes for Mark Murphy as well. Mark, of course, was the one that stood out to me before with that very cheeky restart. Same as Neil Ives for Ram Racing in that very, very bright green car that we're going to learn to know and love over the course of the season, I'm sure. Into the pits there, a couple of guys coming in. Jonathan Rex is one of them. That's Dan Rowbottom just in front of him. Rennie Hugenhout's come in as well. Liam Silkstone for XII Racing. I think Yves Liddell was one of them too. It was. Pit lane open to these boys. Here's Jay Glenn coming down the pit lane. Who's going to be leaving and who's going to be going in quicker? Silkstone just in front there, popping into his box. Shame to see that Scott Jeffs is still there in the pit lane. I really don't have a clue what happened to him. I'd like to find out. There's Dan Rowbottom leaving the pit lane just ahead of Silkstone. Dan is 24th at the moment, a lap down on the leaders, with quite a bit of damage to that front right as well. Not the smoothest of races for him tonight. But here are your top few drivers. Who are you rooting for? Who do you reckon can get the win here out of these guys? Adrian Burks has been lurking outside the top 5 for most of this one. But I'm pretty confident that he can make it in there. And I've been told that the random draw for the driver to win the $15 iRacing credits at the end will be using a number generator that corresponds to their finishing position. As I said before, thank you very much to EVP, our race sponsor and distributor of emergency parts for vehicles. Sorry, I shouldn't say parts, I mean products, emergency products for the emergency and utility services. And this has been the EVP 150 powered by Vertex eSports. We have 11 laps to go. Lights on the pace car are out. Of course, no lights on these cars. But plenty of floodlight in at the moment. For anyone that doesn't know, this is the iRacing sim racing platform. Incredible bit of kit. And hopefully for the last time tonight then, we're going to get a restart with Alex Sedgwick at the front. Connor Mills alongside. Connor has been flying this evening, trying to chase him down, especially recently, and Alex puts the hammer down. Connor goes with him. Oh, there's a car out of shape. It's Ant Walton Eels, and Ant's going to go in the wall. It's Ant Walton Eels now. Real shame for Ant. That's his race pretty much done. Gil Linster's had a bit of a nightmare and dropped a couple of places. He's got Billy Fletcher on his inside, sorry, his outside, and Hesno down his inside, and that is another caution. Another one for these boys. Let's have a look then. What happened? Ben Kriener has had an accident as well. Go on board with Ben at the restart. Was it Ant Walton Eels that had the incident? Ben's got a corker over restart. I think there may have been contact, you know. Oh, Ben just didn't seem to see that there was a car on his outside. Oh, and there's heavy, heavy contact there at the end of the pit lane. That's such a shame for those boys. Out goes the safety car, as quick as you'll ever see it. George Tolsma was one of the ones that had his incident. Oh, and just lights up the rears, you know. And it was the 41 that got out of the way. So it was Topley that just jumped out of the way of it, and then you'll see Kriener there just get squashed into the wall. And as he comes back across the track, it was Jeff Hooper that went in with him. And unfortunately, their races have gone from bad to worse. So 9 laps to go, and still Sedgwick leading the way. Kral's 3rd, Corton 4th, and Adrian Burks in 5th for Blitz Motorsports. Top 13 cars are on the lead lap. Any ones that you see on the left-hand side, by the way, that have their names in blue means that they're a lap down. I'll show you the overall gap between everybody. You can see there. But we're hoping for a good run to the end in this one. Here's Ben Kriener in the very damaged Luxim 24 eSports car, just coming out of the pits there. Who was that? It wasn't Hugenhout, he's in an orange and blue car. Jeff Hooper suffered quite a bit of damage in that incident as well, by the look of it, for the E30 Motorsports team. Hope it's not too severe and that he can continue. Everybody that was in accidents before, you know, though, Alex Wheeler, that's been the damaged car of the evening for me. Not a single straight panel on that thing. Peter Phillipson seems to be out of the race. Martin Mollett still out there in the number 11. He's had quite a few incidents tonight. He's just behind Ben Kriener. And Dan Rowbottom just ahead in 23rd overall. But still a couple of laps to go. Will cautions breed cautions? We will have to see. Anyone coming down into the pit lane? There is a car coming in. It's Jonathan Rex on his way down. I think it might have been Jonathan actually that came in before. And we just caught him when he was on the exit. Yeah, I believe so. Either that or it was Martin Mollett on his way out. There's Liam Silkstone as well. Around the outside, flying around the outside, is Jay Glenn there in the Tech 55 car. But we look back to the front then. Alex Sedgwick with one more lap, I believe, after this one, before we go back to green flag racing. Shame to see Ant Walton Eels drop out of the race like that, but it seemed like he made the mistake all on his own, just planted his foot, the rears spun up, and that was the end of it. I thought that there was maybe contact with the 41 of Alistair Topley, but it seemed that Alistair just dived to the left to make sure he was out of the way of it, and then Ben Kriener, of course, getting caught up with Jeff Hooper. Looks like Ben just didn't realise that there was an overlap. But we've gone from sunset to nighttime here at Homestead Miami. And I really hope that you have all enjoyed yourself this evening. I certainly have. And I know that everyone behind the scenes has as well. Still the lights are on the safety car, so we'll have another lap as we go. Should see these guys go 2 by 2 pretty soon. But Alex Sedgwick, though, he's been pretty untouchable at the moment, hasn't he? Let us know in the comments if we will see you again next week. We're heading to Brands Hatch in the UK, using their Indy circuit for a 63 lap race on the 22nd of April. Same time, 7:45 PM UK time. And the lights have now gone out on the pace car. So Alex Sedgwick, the man of the minute. But can Connor Mills do anything about him? Can Connor Mills steal this win from right under his nose at the end? What do you think? After we go to Brands Hatch, we will be heading to the Daytona International Speedway for 60 laps on the 29th of April. And then on the 6th of May, we head to Circuit Zolder in Belgium. Yep, these things are going around Zolder, and it's going to be amazing to watch. And then we finish the season at Martinsville Speedway on the 13th of May with a 200 lap encounter that will potentially decide the championship. Joel in the YouTube chat says, yes, I will be back. Glad to hear it, buddy. Thank you very much. Again, thank you for everyone that is tuning in at the moment. We have over 100 viewers combined on all platforms. As there was a bit of a blink out there by the look of it for Connor Mills again. Let's see what Alex Sedgwick can do. And he's away. Connor Mills has got a great run though, but he can't overtake in time. Connor really putting the pressure on. Alex, for the first time tonight, really defending hard. He has to go all over the place. Brian Crowles could come through here for Brax Racing and take this off him. Oh, Dan Rowbottom's gone off. Dan Rowbottom is in the wall. Hopefully we don't have to get another caution, but Alex Sedgwick still leads the way then. Crowles and Connor Mills side by side. Crowles is up to second place. Towards the end of the lap, it looks like it's going downhill for Connor Mills. And just behind them as well, Corton and Burke side by side with Guillaume Hesno just behind them. And now Hesno wants a piece of this as well. He goes flying down the inside, makes a little bit of contact with the side of Corton. Oh, there's cars around, and that is Mark Murphy and Gil Linster. They've come together, and the caution is out again. Connor Mills gets another chance, but now Brian Crowles is in front of him. We need to have a look at what happened to Dan Rowbottom. Off the restart, Ant O'Neill's flying up behind. Oh, look at that. He gets another clout, and I tell you what, I think Neil Ives is he's going to have a talking to. Because look, he's done it again. He's done a sneaky restart where he hangs back really far and then flies through like a big green bullet. I think he might need a chat from the race director. I can hear Mike sorting his cane out. But Alex Sedgwick then, we've spoken about him being dominant tonight, and he's only a handful of laps away from the first race win of the season. But can Brian Crowles, the Belgian for Brax Racing, or Connor Mills from Mills Motorsport do anything about it? Or will we see someone like Burks, Hesno or Corton come through here to take some glory? I want to see what happened to Mark Murphy too, because Mark Murphy went flying off the circuit. Here's Gil Linster then, who was involved with Mark into turn one. Oh, Gil just went in a little bit too hard, just tapped the back of him. Aaron Smith was lucky to get away with that, to be fair. Jay Glenn goes through it as well. And everybody slows down around them. So what are we all thinking that we're going to see at the end here? Callum Cripps says, Brian is my hero in the YouTube chat. Mark Murphy, 13th at the moment. Just ahead of Jeff Hooper, who is in the pit lane here for E30 Motorsports. Getting some repairs, much needed to that car. George Tolsma still going somehow in that pink machine. Another car just like Alex Wheeler's that doesn't have a straight panel on it. But the only consistency at the moment has been a couple of guys up the front. A lot of the others have all changed around a lot. As far as I know, we're going to get a green-white checker finish to this race. We're going to come on to the 99th lap. And RRNW, Row Racing Network, says, I will be back cheering for George Tolsma. Good stuff. Got my brother saying hello in the YouTube chat. Hello, mate. Mark Murphy is my favourite, says C. Well, there you go, mate. There is your favourite. We'll even go on board with him. I think he's been given the wave around as well. Or I hope so. Either that or he's just being a yob. He's getting into place by the look of it. Or is he? He's now slowing down again. I think the mayonnaise has got to his head. Lights still on the safety car for Alex Sedgwick. Here is the view from Brian Crowell's point of view. This track looks fantastic at night at Homestead. Love it here. Super Japsy says, come on Sedjo, get it done. So many little pops and bangs from these Xfinity cars. They really do fuel them heavy. Nobody coming in the pits now to prepare for any further changes. This is very nerve-wracking for these guys at this point. You think Connor's got it if we get going. Well, Connor Mills, third at the moment. He was putting in the fastest laps of the race before. I think he still does. Yeah, he still has the fastest lap of the race. A 33.14. This is third place driver then. Connor Mills from Mills Motorsport. Sedgwick on the inside, Crowell's on the outside. We're on lap 100 of 101. It was originally a 99 lap race. Oh, and apparently Scott Jeff's wheel has died. So he's had a technical failure. That's such a shame. Scott was having a good little fight as well in the mid-pack. So here we go, everybody. Place your bets. Strap yourselves in, because this is going to be, if the rest of this race is to go by, a crazy last few laps. Look out for Neil Ives in the bright green car in the background, holding back for a restart. And Sedgwick gets them underway. There they go. Everybody eager to get away with it. Look at them, 3 wide in the middle there. Almost 4 wide at points. Down the inside goes Hesno on Brian Crowell's. Connor Mills has gone through into second place. That's very important. Now he needs to go chasing after Alex Sedgwick. It's going to be 102 laps complete by the time this race finishes. That is Hesno down the inside of Brian Crowell's there, side by side into the final corner. It looks like Lewis Corton's blinking in and out a little bit there. Unfortunately, that's going to put off the guys around him. Aaron Smith on the inside there, down the inside in the bright yellow machine. Looks like Billy Fletcher's on the inside. White flag is in the air, so 1 lap to go. And Alex Sedgwick still holds on to this lead. He's actually got 0.4 of a second over Connor Mills at the moment. Adrian Burks is in the middle of this as well. There's Lewis Corton with Aaron Smith flying onto the back straight one more time. And no matter what platform you're on, and no matter where you are watching, I want to see plenty of these clap emojis in chat for Alex Sedgwick, who comes out of the final corner to win the EVP 150, powered by Vertex eSports. Sedgwick wins, Mills second, Hesno third. Great podium for him. Brian Crowell's in fourth with Adrian Burks in fifth. Billy Fletcher, Lewis Corton, Aaron Smith, Alistair Topley and Jay Glenn rounds out the top 10 with Mark Murphy just coming through in 11th. Liam Silkstone, my friend from XII Racing, finishing 12th. Neil Ives is off the circuit, blending in with the grass. Not sure what happened to Neil Ives there. Dan Rowbottom apparently went off the circuit as well. There must have been some sort of fallout at the end. Oh, there's cars in the wall all over the place. Oh wow, lots of cars all over the place. Looks like Neil Ives involved once again there. He's had a bit of a rough and tumble evening. Oh, look at that. That's the number 82 of Rene Hugenhout there. Just before the flag. This is Rene. Here's Ben Kriener on the right. To his right again is the number 51 of Yves Liddell. Oh, Rene goes flying in deep there into the final corner. Oh, there's already cars around in front. Oh, into the wall. Neil Ives did pretty much look like Neil Ives actually started that. There's Dan Rowbottom just nearly smacking into the camera. So much contact, so many cars around. But there is your race winner, Alex Sedgwick. Very, very disturbing? Oh, there's a word for you to use. Deserving winner. Get your words out, Chaz. Get your words out indeed. Here are the race results then. Alex Sedgwick takes the win, 0.4 of a second over Connor Mills and Guillaume Hesno, with Brian Crowles finishing 4th ahead of Adrian Burks in 5th place. Behind him in 6th, Billy Fletcher for Luxim 24 Esports, with Lewis Corton and Aaron Smith 7th and 8th. Behind them, Alistair Topley, and rounding out your top 10 is Jay Glenn. We then have Mark Murphy and Liam Silkstone 11th and 12th, with George Tolsma, Jeff Hooper and Gil Linster rounding out your top 15, with Jonathan Rex, Neil Ives and Rene Hugenhout in 16th, 17th and 18th. Ben Kriener eventually finished 19th, bit of a disappointing end to the race for him, with Martin Mollett rounding out your top 20. Ahead of Dan Rowbottom, 4 laps down, with Yves Liddell 5 laps down. Then Alex Wheeler 23rd, and Walton Eels 13 laps down in the end after that incident late on in the race. Peter Phillipson is 25th ahead of Jazz Harvey, that's James Harvey for Student Motorsport 26th, with Scott Jess and Oliver Fowler just behind them. Then it's Andrew Derrick, Aaron Cook and Yevgen Sokolovsky did not start the race. Michael Yao there, of course, our race director. I'm just going to have a quick look and see if there is anybody in. And I tell you what, out of all people that we could speak to, what a guy to speak to right now. But our race winner, Alex Sedgwick, joins us in the booth. Alex, how are we doing, mate? Good to see you. Although I can't hear him at the moment. It's always good, isn't it? Are you there, Alex? Looks like we've not got Alex in the booth after all. He's in there with us, but we can't actually hear him. Just going to see whether we've got anybody else. Oh, there he is. How are you doing, mate? I bet you're overjoyed with that, aren't you?
Yeah, that was good fun. You know, most importantly, it was a really good first race. Obviously, from my viewpoint, it was good fun. It was nice to lead and be out front. But, you know, I was pushed hard. Connor at the end, Brian, had some good battles. I think if you know, that second to last restart, if it went green then Connor probably could have just sat on my bumper, and it might have been a bit of a closer race. But no, it was good. Looked like some good action, and you know, the response from all the competitors seems good. So yeah, on to the next one.
Yeah, well, I was just saying before that we now go to Brands Hatch Indy for a hell of a lot of laps there as well, and it's not quite the same as going here, but that's obviously what this series is going to bring, where the drivers need to adapt their talent over the course of it. Do you think you'll be up there for the win there? I mean, it is sort of your forte getting these things around road circuits, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think, to be honest, obviously in the real world, I don't have so many opportunities, but I seem to prefer ovals really. So I think, you know, we'll be all right at Brands, but I think there'll be a lot more people up there, and it'll be a lot harder work. You know, if any of you watched the Brands race we did on behalf of Euro NASCAR with the ARCA cars, there's a lot of guys that were fighting for the lead and in position to win the race at different times. And also, obviously, we've got a big grid and a 1 mile long road course, so it'll be a bit of survival as well.
Oh, definitely. You really have to have your wits about you and not get caught up in incidents. And it seemed that being at the front tonight was the best place to be because, you know, nothing going on in front of you. You can just focus on your own race and take the lead. It was a shame to see Ben Kriener drop down further down the order because you and him were having a great battle early on, weren't you?
Yeah, it was really good fun to race Ben. You know, he's super quick on a sim. He seemed to have the edge on me on newer tyres, so I was okay for the first lap or two as everything got up to temperature. And then after that, he seemed to pull it back and could gap me a little bit, but then as everything wore away and the car loosened up, it started to suit me a little bit more. So it was fun that, you know, we both had different strengths, and as a result, we could get runs on each other. And yeah, it was good. You know, it was a hard race for that early, but really good fun to race Ben. Same with Connor. Lewis was starting to reel me in at one point as well, and Brian obviously had a good run as well. You know, it was good to see quite a few different names up there in the top 5, top 10 throughout the race. A lot of change in the order, so I think it all went well, all went to plan.
It certainly seems so. Other than technical issues early on, it seemed that the sim froze for God knows what reason. Can't have been anything to do with the software that I'm running, because at the end of the day all it does is read what the sim's doing. It doesn't actually feed anything to it, but we'll get to the bottom of that. Just as your thought says, obviously a series organiser as well, I did say to everybody that they can't shout fix when you take the win. How do you feel getting the whole event and getting everyone involved has gone? I mean, have you guys been chatting on the in-race chat as well? Have you had some sort of feedback from everyone at the moment?
Yeah, mega happy. So you know, during the caution breaks, I've sort of been in contact with everyone, seeing, you know, most importantly as customers effectively, that they're happy and they're enjoying themselves, and that seemed to be the case. You know, everyone had a really good run, even the guys that didn't necessarily have the best result or got taken out. You know, they still really enjoyed participating. So you know, all in all, a great success, and I think I've got to say thank you to all you guys, you know, Chaz, Adam, Mike from Simply Race, and Rob from Luxim for helping us, you know, to put it all together. Obviously, as a team, we've done pretty well to, you know, put this all together at fairly short notice. Build a good grid, you know, 30 cars, I believe, 31 cars took the start, and it seemed to have, you know, be really, really close. You know, in practice, I think there was 3 or 4 tenths between the first 20, 25. So, you know, it all looks good for the rest of the series, and it should be, you know, quite entertaining. And obviously, the main reason we're doing this is to give people something, you know, to focus on a bit while they're at home. You know, keep them competitive, keep them driven, and then obviously, what we make through the series, we can help the NHS out and help guys that probably need a bit of support at this time. So all is good.
Well, it was great to see you out there, mate. Of course, we have the random draw to do now, don't we? With the drivers' positions to see who wins the $15 iRacing credits.
Yes, we do indeed. Give me 2 minutes because I'm entirely unprepared, and we will do that.
No worries, mate. Don't you worry about it. At the end of the day, I didn't see anything of qualifying because of technical issues, so it's all good. It's all good. I'm sure everyone, seeing as they could wait and look at a blank screen for 10 minutes while nothing went on in qualifying at my end, they wouldn't mind waiting for a random number generator. Just to highlight to everybody as well, there is a Just Giving page tonight for basically buying the NHS workers, as many of them as we can, of course, the idea of a personalised gift, essentially, just to say thanks to what they're doing at this very difficult time. The race sponsor tonight, EVP Limited. We are very, very grateful for them getting on board with this. EVP, of course, a European distributor of basically emergency accessories, vehicle products, emergency products for the emergency and utility services. And Alex knows them very, very well, don't you, mate? As they are one of your actual sponsors in real racing. I'm not turning into Jonathan Ross there.
Yes, that's right. So Paul, who runs EVP, Paul and Sarah, they're based locally to me, actually, in Warwick. We got to know them through racing in the NASCAR Wayland Euro Series. And as of the yeah, as of the start of last year, they jumped on board to become a sponsor of mine for Euro NASCAR, and then obviously they've carried on their support into this year, and also into the eSports world with title sponsor of this race, and also obviously on the bonnet of my car. So yeah, really grateful for their support there, and hopefully it will continue into the future, and we have our winner for the draw as well.
Okie dokie. Well, I would have a drum roll sound ready, but I'm just about as prepared, so don't worry, mate. Who is it that we are going to be giving $15 iRacing credits to? So,
before I reveal the lucky winner, just to give a bit of background into how we're working this, we've got Google random number generator up. Just a bit of a tongue twister. In there, we've got 1 to 31, so every finishing position of the race. And from there, it's gonna randomly generate a number. If that number is your finishing position, you're the winner. So it has come up with number 11, which is Mark Murphy.
And it's a great thing to see Mark get that as well. He was very entertaining to watch tonight, as we just see number 25 on the stream, George Tolsma, go through the iRacing safety car. But yes, Mark Murphy, you have won yourself, although it cuts to you in the pit lane, unfortunately, mate. You have won yourself $15 iRacing credits. So if you do watch, make sure you do get in touch with Alex. I'm sure you will at some point. Everyone loves a bit of money in the back pocket to spend on content. But we have our winner for tonight. And is that something we're doing every week then going forward, Alex? Just each round everyone gets $15 that obviously wins the draw anyway.
Yeah, kind of. So it won't always be iRacing credits. It will be a different prize each time. So that's our first one. And then from the rounds, it will be announced basically before the race. So we're going to keep it a surprise every time. But it could be anything from, some merch from some of our pro drivers, maybe some signed stuff, all the way through to, iRacing credits, track day vouchers, track day experiences, or some passes to a race in the future, be it touring cars, NASCAR in the US. Obviously, there's something for everyone wherever they're based in the world. So yeah, obviously it's just another nice little value adder to thank everyone for getting involved.
Well, that's it. Like you said before, we just want to give something back and have a series at the same time that everyone enjoys, and it certainly seems that we've got the potential for that now, mate. It's great to have this working together, I suppose. Thank you very much for getting me on board as well. I'm going to chuck you back into the fish pool now as we wrap up the stream, but just before I let you go, mate, is there anyone else that you want to give a shout out to?
Cool. I've got about 63 texts from Adam, my business partner at Vertex, while we've been chatting. So yeah, thanks to him for obviously keeping everyone entertained, hopefully in the stream, in the chat. But also obviously playing a big part in putting it all together. So, as I said, between us two from Vertex, you, Simply Race, Mike, and Rob from Luxim, it's a team effort to put it all together, and seems to be working quite well. So, yeah, long may it continue, and looking forward to Brands Hatch next week.
Definitely, mate. Sounds like you just got text number 64 there as well to go with it. So I'll leave you to them. But thank you, everybody that has watched this evening. It's been great fun to bring you the first round of this 5-round championship. And as Alex says, we will see you next week at Brands Hatch for yet another exciting rounds. I've been Chaz Draycott, your host, known to a lot of people as Chazlington, and we will see you next week.